Right, so I'm DINES, originally from London, and basically design has always been my thing. And ever since I was at university, I was kind of had this kind of like passion to kind of make something for myself. And you know, I used to look through a lot of magazines and a lot of talks online and everything like that. And I just kind of wanted to know, like, how do I get there? How can I make my family proud? How can I make my friends proud? And most important, how can I make an impact in this industry? So today's talk is what sort of Ravi put together. And it's kind of all things about design, fashion, and the next £1 million design agency. That's meant to be £10 million, so I think kind of bigger. And I just kind of want to sort of take you through like a little journey. And this image here is the most significant thing that I think impacted my life a lot. This was my last ever £20 note, and I made so much sacrifices. I made anything. So I started off in Southampton, like I said, me and my business partner, and we moved down to London, and it was a lot. From moving to Southampton to moving to London, the rent was expensive, going out was expensive, networking was expensive, and we spent so much money because clients would take 60 days to pay after doing a design, and we were literally broke. We had nothing. And ironically, there was a little smiley face on there. It looks a bit sarcastic, it looks a bit frightening, but to me, he looked at me and said, like, things need to change. So the first thing I said was, I need to hit my goals, I need to hit my objectives, and I have a duty to get to the top. So, this little slide here is to make it look cool. Working with the world's biggest brands, and just trying to show you what I've That was for Nike. This is a recent project we've just done for DINES, and that was just to promote their new football boots. Again, this one was for DINES as well, with over 1 million views on social. And it was kind of like iconic of our style, and finally we reached the point where these big brands are sort of talking to us. We've also got live events, so you just saw a bit loud there. And basically, we're on front rows at big festivals, music festivals, where we're interacting with audience of like 20,000 people. We're on stage with the biggest artists, grime artists, Skepta, Wiley, and it's a dream come true, to a point where we got to design his album cover, which got to #2 in the charts, in the UK charts. And for me, that's like a dream come true. To be working with one of my favourite artists and do both of his albums was just incredible. From then on as well, we worked on a couple of award shows, done some of the branding, some of the 3D work, and it was one of the biggest award shows, award shows in London at the time. So let me take on a little bit of a rewind and show you sort of my journey of how I got to that stage, working with the world's biggest brands, being in front of the stage of like 1,000 people, 10,000 people to this moment in time. So I was literally obsessed with Pokemon, Dragon Ball Z, and everything Disney. For me as a kid growing up, I had a twin sister, and we used to watch all this stuff together, man, and it was wicked. And for me it was about the detail, it was about the action, it was about the colour. And for me it was like, just had such a strong impact. And someone noticed the other day that I showed them this slide, and you can see really similar traces in my work from this day. So when I was at university, what I used to do to make a little bit of money to pay my tuition fees, I used to sell artworks on eBay. And what I used to do is just paint, say, like a Disney character, and draw a line through their eye and sell it on eBay to a top bidder, and I would get about £100 for it. And what that did was, help me fund my university. But what I used to do then is sell one, and then make another 4 and sell it to the people who got outbid. So I made 4 times my money on a weekend. So that kind of thing kind of stuck in my head, and I thought, there is money to be made in selling art, and there is money to be made to actually just, succeed in something and hustle and get that kind of your work out to the wild world. So I came across this design agency. They were called 123 Clan. If you haven't known them, check them out. They were my icons. And at the time, I was graffitiing. And with 123 Clan, they taught me how to sort of have a style, make money from it, and also have an impact in the design world. So they used to sell hats, trainers, and posters, and really stick to their style and be true to their guns. The other thing I was massively interested in was the Renaissance. Just like the detail, the colour, just like the energy, everything about the Renaissance period, like paintings, were just like incredible. So I needed to take a little bit of that and just develop my style. I was also heavily influenced by TV, and there was a program I kind of watched, only 2 seasons, called How to Make It in America. It was about these 2 guys who were in New York, and they wanted to make it big. So they started their own fashion label, and they had the ups and downs, but eventually they made a massive company, and they wanted to be millionaires. So I was thinking, that program showed me the hustle. That program showed me how to make it, and especially in America, but obviously in London. The next one was Entourage. Entourage was my big thing. So when I was at university, I wanted to be like this guy in the middle, Billy, the guy in the red top. And he was a superstar. And what he used to do is, he used to get money, he was famous, and then he would sort out he would look after his friends. They were on private jets, they were getting everywhere, the parties, the women, it was amazing. And at the time, I wanted to be like him. So I was thinking, how do I be like him? How can I know it's fake, but I was like, I want to be like him. But the biggest influence in that whole thing was Ari Gold. And he's a ruthless businessman. He was the guy that got Vinny, the actor, loads of jobs. He was the guy that closed the deals and made so much money. He was the one that had the ambition to get to the top. And what I liked about him was he was ruthless, but at the same time, he was a joker. He was friendly, and he understood the morals. Also, living in London, it's all about looking around. It's about looking up. Every time I look up, especially in Dubai, I love Dubai, and there's so much things that can inspire you. So for me, having that bit of London grit in the work was a massive, massive thing that took us to this point, to make it stand out in front of the crowd. So after all growing up and graduating from university, I graduated with a 2-1. I was 1% off a first, and later I find out that the reason why I didn't get a first, the top mark, was because university isn't about the natural skill which I had, it's about the hard work. And as you know, as designers or creatives, when you have an idea, you don't really need to back it up with ideas, it just comes from nowhere. And for me, I always knew that from the start. So I needed a style, and I went through a lot of different styles. And the most important thing for me was I had to kind of develop something that people wanted to see, people wanted to collect. So from an early age, don't forget this is about 10 years old. I was remixing Disney already. I was actually putting together just concepts with a Nike tip. Hopefully one day they'll see it and use us. I love illustration. I love it. And this is kind of this is at my studio at the moment, where when I'm bored or I'm tired of just working on client projects, I'm just colouring the table because I just want it. Right? So this was a very, very important moment in my life. This poster. It might not seem much now, but this was 10 years ago as well. And a guy came running up to my house, knocked on my door, and he's like, "Look, DINES, I need a poster for a new event I'm launching at the Orange Rooms, which is a bar in Southampton. I need it basically today. I need it today." And I was excited. I was like, "Okay, cool. And what do you want?" He went, "Anything, just your style." So I put together this kind of collage thing, and then he got it printed, he got it made, and I thought that was it. And then literally about a week later, I went to a house party, and I turned around, and I just see that poster blown up massively in a frame at a random's house party. And for me, that was like, right, like people actually are liking what I'm producing. People are actually collecting it. And that buzz, even though I'd done a poster for free at the time, was a bigger reward than anything, because people appreciated what I was about. So after that, I got loads of more commissions from that bar, and that helped me fund university again. So I was selling prints, I was doing menus and posters for the bar, and you know, it was helping fund me. And then more clients started noticing my work. And at this point, I thought, this is where I want to be, because in Southampton, it's a small city in the south coast of England. People knew who I was. People were shaking my hands. People were saying, that design's amazing, collecting my flyers. I felt untouchable. And I was like, this is the lifestyle, this is amazing. And again, rent was so cheap. It was so cheap. So I could do one poster and get paid and just be living. So I went through numerous styles. So I had to, because I was getting busy, I had to work out a design process. And I wanted to show you guys a quick kind of video of my design process. So this quick poster was for a really famous magazine in Europe called Soccer Bible. Actually, it's worldwide, Soccer Bible. And we created this number 5. And again, the brief was, just do your thing, man. Just do your art. So, okay, cool. So we created that 5. And what I'd done then was, we'd done a limited edition cover, and then we'd done also the pull-out poster. And it went to be one of the successful prints sold to this day. So I thought, let me just share with everyone the process of how this is made. I smoked teams like Rothmans. What? I was a lost child until I read books on Rothschild. They can't wait till the papers break up. They don't want to see me go back. Fire and smoke, I'll run out your way. Come round here, get run out the base. I'm 100 junglers around the way. Karate kid. They wanna hate cause one man came in the back. My antics ain't working. Catch a YouTube bad boy. Let's have it. I don't wanna hear man say hate him. Came in the game like boom, boom. German whips to be cruise. If you wanna talk all eyes, my body, you're gonna get signed like it's a balloon. A lot of DJs wanna play my tunes. A lot of DJs start playing my tunes. If you ever try to put your hands on my chain, then I guarantee you're gonna get put in the boot. I'm a London man in a London. Man can't try to link me with a junction. Sling the man in the dungeon. Make man cry like dice up onion. Done a lot of effed up things in my life that didn't seem effed up back when I done it. He thought he was a stunt man. That's why I burned him with a Bunsen. Burn him man with a Benson. Make man run like Tyrone Fenton. You act bad for a tip. So yeah, so that goes into the... There you go. Nice. So I released it on the website, and literally I had like so many people commenting on it and saying, I just love your process. I started seeing people do the remix as well, copying the style. And for me, that was a proud moment because, you know, I'm teaching people, you know, what to create. They're taking their own spin on it, but they're inspired by something that I just quickly done. So, you know, I want to release more of that. And you'll see more at the workshop, where I'm going to be remixing a Disney character, and you'll see a lot more in detail how we create something special. So again, rewinding again, back to the Renaissance. These detailed paintings, I love the colour, I loved everything about it. And it was just something simple, where I would dissect a picture, and then just take little parts of it, and just build it up. So what I'm doing is deconstructing and actually putting something together to create my own shape, to create my own voice, to create my own energy. So I started getting busy, and I was like, right, I need to get some like proper clients now, because at the end of the day, it was all good doing stuff for cheap money and free entry to a club or whatever, free food. But I was like, I need to start emailing companies. So I was emailing all these companies and no one was getting back to me. So I was emailing from a Hotmail, a Gmail, a Yahoo. And I was getting frustrated. I was thinking, what's going on? No one's replying to me. So I had that brainstorm moment. In my second year of university, I created a studio. And that's called BLUP. BLUP doesn't mean anything, by the way. It's just, it's literally just like 4 letters that I loved drawing when I was doing my graffiti. And I just stuck with it. The logo, clean, simple. It was actually a typeface that I stole from someone who didn't actually want to give me a typeface because he was hating. He sent me an email saying, how dare you ask me for this typeface? blah, 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 blah. I was like, whoa, wait a minute, let's chill out. So then all of a sudden I just found out what the font was, I just downloaded it. And that's almost like a FU to it, like, there you go. That's my logo, on t-shirts, everything. And I've just underlined it. So that's my business partner. I chose that picture because I look young. No tattoos, fresh. And that's our business partner, Alex. And we met at university, we were business partners, and like he was just like the pinnacle of everything. He was the complete opposite of me. He's a quiet guy, he's low-key, but he loved running a business. He liked invoicing. He liked just the other side of the business. And he knows everything about me. I know everything about him. And he knows more about me than my family, because we were literally in this together. And when we were both down to the last £20, he was there for me, and I was there for him. And that's the most important thing, is having someone to cover your back. So our first break was doing a couple of stuff in Southampton for a nightclub, which was massive. They have big ambitions. They want to be in Miami, they were being featured in nights out in Berlin, Ibiza, New York, and I got appointed to create these flyers. So at the same time, I was creating these flyers with my website at the bottom, and I was getting inquiries. I was gaining fans. And all of a sudden, this happened. That phone call. It was a PR agency, said they saw my stuff, and we would love you to work on Adidas. I was like, yes. What's the budget? They wanted us a lot of budget. I was like, wicked. So it was for the Olympics, and it was only a small little invite, and we spent hours tying these little bows, folding up the invites, printing it. It cost us about £4,000 just to print these before they paid us. We delivered it, we were high-fiving, we were like, bam. And then all of a sudden, they turned around and said to us, there's no envelopes. In the brief, we said you had to deliver these envelopes. If you do not deliver this in an hour and a half, we're not paying you. So we're already $3.5 grand down. That's me, by the way. So we delivered the envelopes, and we got it done in time, and for us that was a massive wake-up call to read the brief. Luckily, we went in debt. They paid us 60 days later, and we now work directly with the brands to create a global campaign, which you'll check out on Instagram at the moment. Which again, big budget for it, and that's the ideal thing you have to be in. So let the world see your brand. So currently on Instagram, on Facebook, there's a little video you've probably seen, everyone. If not, don't check it out, it's funny, Randy loved it. And basically, how we ran our Instagram, we had to create the perfect portfolio, because we realised Instagram is the new website. Instagram is the thing that people get your address and click on it. We went wrong, because we were doing our Instagram like a vlog. We were taking selfies, pictures of coffee, no one cares. What they want you to do is see your work. They want to go on it, get that instant impact, and create that wow factor. So we changed our tactic, and from then on, our followers just went like that, because people come to our page to get inspired. We also launched Behance, which everyone's very familiar on. I can't wait to meet the people at Behance today. And this was really a really good factor when I got featured. A lot of eyes went on our portfolio, and it's amazing. So let the world see your brand. So basically, because of that, we got featured in a lot of magazines. People wanted to know us. We got asked to be in magazine tutorials. We then got asked to be at OFF Festival in Barcelona and Lille. We had panel talks. It was amazing. Everything was kicking off. Everyone wanted to know who this BLUP was. We had people collecting our posters. Look at his little smile on his face, he's buzzing. Either he's excited about the work or he's excited seeing her. I'm hoping it's the work, but I wore my jacket, I don't know. Interviewed, and then we've created this custom piece for the OFF Festival. It got featured everywhere. It was on all the blogs, and basically the numbers started growing. People started getting excited, and then we've just been on tour kind of ever since. I reached out to Rami ages ago, and I'm here today. So we was at OFF Lille, and it got to a point where my idol was speaking after me, the guy from 123 Clan. And how that's come around was, you know, I believed in myself. I had that vision to one day meeting the guy that inspired me to create what it is. And what a nice guy, lovely guy, ambitious, still in contact today, and still inspires me to this day. We do exhibitions now. You know, we help the youth, we develop youth. You know, we give them inside knowledge. We let them know this is how you do things. Oh, by the way, I was well tired. I was up all night, like I was last night, and just did an exhibition there. It was a good time. So it got to a point where like people looking at our work and they were saying like, what? Like it, exactly that face. So the simple solution was a little bit of artwork, mock it up on an album cover. We got music briefs, just a little random design, put it on posters. We sold posters, again on record labels as well. A bit of art, we used it as screensavers, loads of downloads. And artwork, again used for like just a random bit of artwork, was then later commissioned for a musician. This random bit of artwork with mushrooms, because I don't know why, I wasn't on mushrooms, to an actual print. Same again. So it was all about just creating that. Then that familiar face. My key thing here was commit first, figure out later. So I had a client call and say, do you know how to use Cinema 4D? This was again 8 years ago, 7 years ago. I went, yeah, I didn't. I went on YouTube, learned all night how to do it, went in confidently, and produced something for the Olympics. So we created that in like, literally 24 hours. Yeah, I just said, yeah, money was good. Oh, can you do websites? Yeah. Can you build them? Yeah. So we did. That was for the cost. Then they started saying, oh, see you've done such a good job. Can you do one for Hugo Boss? Yeah. How much? Double. Yeah. So yeah, this is international dominance. Performance says obviously. International dominance. We then got asked to work for Nike in Shanghai, and we just produced some lovely artwork for Nike. That got exposed to loads of people at the Science Museum, and then he got featured at Nike. And then from then on, someone who was a singer called Jem's manager saw our work. She's #1 Chinese pop star. She said, can you design her album artwork? I said, yeah, cool. And then that got exposed to Asia, which is amazing, and it was just like amazing. So there's a thing called, a really famous thing we call feeding the beast. And it's a thing where you can't just be stuck in client work, or you can't just be watching TV or YouTube or doing pointless things. It's all about feeding the beast. Like Goku is feeding himself, and he's a beast, in my eyes. He's eating a cloud. So we started the Disney remixes, which again, I'll show you how to do it at the workshop. Someone actually from Disney bought that poster and put it up in their office in Sydney. We got the email, and I thought I was going to be in trouble, but I wasn't. We started remixing trailers, and we just started getting popular topics and remixing it, and it just blew up. Everyone loved these trailers. And all of a sudden we started getting commissions to actually do remixes of the latest trailer in the BLUP style. Again, culture. Everyone loves Tom and Jerry. Everyone loved Bugs Bunny. So we thought, let's just mash it up and create lovely posters. We put these on t-shirts and prints, and they sold amazingly well. Working with like magazine covers, remixing them, working with ID, doing stuff with Star Wars, Mario, Pikachu's back, my man, my boy. Now, potentially we're working with Nintendo. So it's all comes about if you just put the effort in, do some concept pieces, and let the world know what you're about. Typography pieces, we're going to launch a book very soon with these in it. And worked with the Euros to just do some artwork featuring my two favourite players at the time. Just a quick run through on just passive income. It's all important that you're doing client work, but you've got to have other arms of revenue. So we created a fashion brand. Well, it's not a fashion brand, it's a merchandise brand. And we just had like t-shirts. And basically we're going to redo the shop as well, so it's going to be open in the summer. So we just started selling these t-shirts. People just started wanting to wear our brand because they understood, like, you know, we were this like cool company in London, but with this simple logo, the fuck you logo, and and basically like people started rocking our stuff. Then we started putting artworks on t-shirts, selling them. You got a chance to win those t-shirts at our workshop as well for the best design. And then famous people started rocking our stuff and started getting our brand out there. So, Studio BLUP, this is our team. A couple of people have moved on since, not dead, just moved on to bigger companies. Which is good because my whole thing is, you know, I'm nurturing these talents and, you know, people are noticing them. They get their confidence of realising like my journey, and I love seeing them taking on that journey themselves. I've got my guy Ben Hall in the audience, and he's taken a similar journey. You know, I gave him advice, and now he's flying. So it's one of those things where I love to mentor and love to give back. This is our team pretending to work. They're not. I just got back. And yeah, like I said, just giving back to the university students and really just doing panel talks, just sharing my knowledge, and just really giving back, because for me, that's what building this company is about. It's not about the money. That just gives you access to everything. But for me, I had to have a core. I had to have the values. I had to know that I'm teaching the next generation or inspiring the guys that are either working and want to get out. Like, if I'm inspiring to do that, then for me, that's my number one goal. So, is this going to be the next £10 million agency? Not 1 million. I believe so. I've worked hard, we've worked hard, and as long as we just understand about the hustle, understand about our duty and our obligations, and hit our goals, we're en route. So, fingers crossed, next time you'll be seeing me in my private jet, coming to Dubai, right, with Rami and the team and everyone, we're all invited, and when that time happens, it's going to be a beautiful thing.